So obviously I can kill Anna, or I could... It's too good not to do, right? This card might be a bit too good. Hi guys, what is going on? Specimen here with the second deck guide of this Master Area season. Having so much fun, let's get into it. It's a crime syndicate deck, also using gourds similar to my Square Tail one, which if you've not seen, I've already posted on the channel. It is very similar to decks I played last season, but there's a few inclusions that make this very good. Particularly the Fallen Knight, which in my opinion might be one of the most bonkers cards I have seen in this expansion so far. And that's saying something because there's a lot of really great cards. We are using Onyomancy, which I was lucky enough to pull from a keg and get it premium. This card helps the consistency massively. If you compare this card to Matter when playing Portal, if you're going first and you don't have Portal in your hand, before you would be able to play Matter, you'd have to play a unit down, and then you'd Matter, and then you'd play Portal, which means Portal would be the third card you play. Whereas with this card, if you don't have Portal but you've got Onyomancy, you can just play Portal turn 1, even if you're going first. So that is huge, because it means you can just play lots of like bad bronze crime cards, and your mutants are going to buff up and you're going to get a lot of tempo nice and quickly. So this card's great. Also though, what's even better about it, of course, is it comes back into your hand in round 2. So if you draw this card in round 1, you're just set up because you can play Portal round 1, and then even if you don't draw it, you're still going to be able to play Horse and Senior in round 2, which Congregate decks are famous for pushing around 2. And there's even something better now about this push in round 2, because the Fallen Knight has unbelievable synergy with the Congregate leader ability. Ulrich as well is essentially a Queen Adalia for Syndicate, and you're able to make a copy of a Fallen Knight. So you can play 3 Fallen Knights down on the board. Now, what a Fallen Knight does, it has Intimidate, which by the way, Ulrich does as well. So Ulrich is playing 2 Intimidate units down. He's playing himself and the Fallen Knight. But the Fallen Knight is an Intimidate engine with Veil, but he also boosts himself by 1 for every single time you spawn a unit. This card is bonkers because in combination with your leader ability, if you play a single Fallen Knight down on the board and then you use your 3 charges for your leader ability, this card is already in at 7 points. And it's still going to buff by 1 every time you play a crime card, and it's still going to buff by 1 for every single Firesworn Zealot you spawn. So if you spawn 3 Firesworn Zealots, it's going to buff by 3. It's a mental card. I've had these at 18 points in one of the first games I played with this deck. It's just incredibly good. The fact you can get 3 of these down on the board, then use your lead ability, then play Senior, and then just start playing crime cards, and you're still going to be getting your Intimidate buffs on this, off your Senior, off your 2 cut-ups, and off your Ulrich. And you might even have something like Sir Skewertooth down. It's just an incredible amount of tempo. The big downside of this deck still is though the consistency. If you don't draw this on Onyomancy, if you miss Portal, if you miss Bank, if you miss Senior, you're going to be finding it quite awkward to play with. But the chances are you're going to find that Onyomancy, or you're going to find that Portal and be able to thin your deck from there on out. The other new addition, I mean, it's worth touching on Congregate because this card has changed somewhat. It used to spawn 2 Firesworn Zealots in an allied row, but then if you've got no coins, it would spawn 3. But the condition has changed slightly, so normally it spawns 2. But now the condition is if there's a Firesworn unit in that row, it's going to spawn 3, which is actually pretty easy to achieve because the guy, the Fallen Knight, which we just talked about, he is a Firesworn. Similarly, Ulrich is also a Firesworn, and we've got 1 bonus Firesworn in the Cleric of the Flaming Rose. Of course, you can spawn Firesworn Zealots off your Congregate leader ability, and of course, we've also got Procession of Penance, which is damaging yourself by 10, but reducing that by 2 for every Firesworn token you control. So if you've got 5 Firesworn tokens on the board, which is pretty easy to do, to be honest, with this deck, he's going to come in at 12 points. So a really, really great card. I'm also using One Last Firesworn as mainly just a backup for your Ulrich, but also just a way to spawn, to spend some coins, because you do generate a decent amount of coins in this deck. You might find you just want to go for a Bomb Heaver or a Peller when the meta settles, because we don't currently have a Purify in this list. And Cleric is going to spawn a Flaming Rose, Firesworn Zealot on this row. So he's Profit 2, and you can spend those 2 coins to spawn a Firesworn Zealot. And then you can also spend 1 coin to transform a Zealot into a Footman. So he's a nice way to spend coins. It wouldn't surprise me if you end up trying to find a way to fit maybe a Pellerin or something like that to this deck. I think Heatwave is going to be quite a popular card in this expansion as well, because Dunker and Squirtle just seems like she's going to be all over the place. But it's you could take this card out, right? But it has synergy with Fallen Knight. It's a nice way of spending coins potentially as well. It's half decent. It gives you a backup on your Ulrich so your hand doesn't brick. It's not terrible. I'm also using Smuggle, and Gaunter Dim is chilling in the background here. This is a new crime card. Profit 3, which is the perfect number, by the way, to make your Skewer Tooth immune. Also to transform 2 Fast One Zealots into Cut Up Blackies for Senior. So that's nice, but it's Profit 3 while also spawning a Flaming Rose Footman in an allied row. So if you spawn and you've got Fallen Knights down, that is giving 2 points of buff to each Fallen Knight, because you're spawning a unit and you're also playing a crime card. And you're also getting 3 coins, you know, just because why not as well. So Smuggle works incredibly well in this deck as well. Let's head on into a game. Again, downside of this deck is draws, but I'm just going to go for the deck. Obviously, I've not played it that many times, so I'm not going to play it perfectly, but we're going to do our best to show you how we do. Normally with crime decks, thin and push round 1, win the round, push round 2, short round 3 with Gord. That's the objective, right? We're up against monsters. We're going first. Normally this sucks, but hopefully Onyomancy is going to help us out. We want to see Portal or Onyomancy, and we find Onyomancy. This is the perfect example to show you where Matter would be bad, right? As long as I don't draw Portal. If I don't draw Portal, if this was Matter, I'd have to play something else first, because we'd both be at 10, which slows me down. Then I'd play Matter, then I'd play Portal, whereas with this, I can just go straight into Portal. Okay, Mulligans, obviously this is a brick. I'm not using Justice, so I've only got one other brick to worry about, which is this other mutant. So I can risk a mulligan here. I've got a very strong hand, honestly. Maybe I ditch a Fallen Knight and just try and save that for later. I don't know, man. We actually find Portal, which is pretty crazy. This hand's nutty good. We will play Portal. We'll try and save the Fallen Knights for round 2, sorry, with my push and leader ability. So I think we'll play Portal, Skewer Tooth. What would I play off Onyomancy though, I wonder? I'm not sure. We could obviously just search for Ulrich with Onyomancy. We may as well play it because we'll get it back next round. And this deck thins so much, it doesn't really do that much for us in a round 3. So we've got lots of options with Onyomancy here. Portal, of course, the main target for it. But for instance, we could go Onyomancy into Furco, into Excommunication or something. But seeing as it's going to come back into our hand the next round, we may as well just go for it, right? Why not? Procession of Penance is a card you could consider just ditching from this deck. Certainly wouldn't be completely against that. There's a few decent options in and around 5 provisions that you could go for, but he's pretty good, man. He's pretty good. I could commit a Fallen Knight. I would quite have liked a crime card that just gets me like 3 profit or something like that, so I could make my Skewer Tooth immune. But I'm probably just going to dump him down without the immunity here and just try and power through. Now this is quite a big commitment from my opponent, right? I don't think it really changes what I do though. Let's just whack that down. Onyomancy is pretty good. I think Ulrich isn't terrible. Like, it's obviously a big commitment, but we just want to win the round. I'm so good in round 2 with Senior. So we eat a Parasite. Honestly, I think I'm just going to go for Ulrich. It's probably like slightly overdoing it.
The oldest decline began.
But as I said, I just want to win the round, right? I'll probably keep this one. And then hopefully I've got at least 1 Fallen Knight, maybe 2 for my push next round. He's already committed Defender though, which is quite a big commitment from him. I want to play Onyomancy anyway, so why not just go for it, right? I'm not using Tavern Brawl in this one. He's played Beast, which again is quite a big commitment. If I really just want to make sure I win the round, I just put this other Fallen Knight down and I just don't lose. Maybe I just go for it, man.
Come at me if you must. Don't take this sword a toy.
Got it. So you're going to see the power of the Fallen Knights here. I've obviously probably overdone it, but I'm super confident in my push with Senior. I've played quite a lot of provisions now, but Onyomancy's coming back. Portal thins. It's only really the Ulrich that I've committed here, in many ways, which it is a big commitment, but I'm going first. I know I can push really aggressively with Horse and Senior and do really well, and then a short run with Gorge should be nice too. So I think we're looking okay. Like I say, maybe I've overdone it on my commitment. He has played Cavetron Beast though, so I don't think you can really argue too much with it. Okay. No biggie there. So let's just show you what the Fallen Knights can do. So obviously I've only got Fire Swans in this row, not in this row, so I need to make sure I play them in the back row. Pretty crazy cards. So they buffed there by 4 each because Congregate is a crime, which boosts the Intimidate, but then it spawns 3 Zealots. So it just buffed them by 4. Bear in mind these cards have got Veil as well. Obviously I'm playing into Igni. Okay, no one's running Igni on patch day. Right, I hope. I think we can be safe to assume. You can see where Penance is kind of awkward. We will whack him down still. He's not getting any bigger. I don't want to commit any leader or anything like that. I thought I was going to cruise this round. Obviously the defender's just a little bit awkward for us. Doesn't seem like I did overcommit really. Arrakis Venom is an interesting decision. He's played 3 organic cards so far. Obviously defender, he's got Cave Troll chilling here. Doragray. Guy's got a very control heavy deck. He should, well, he can't lock these either, right? Because they've got Veil. This is obviously where if I just had, you know, more Congregation cards, also the Smuggles would have been perfect with this sort of a play. Unfortunately, these cards are all a little bit lackluster. We may as well do that though. It's still decent tempo. We could also go Azar, because that's going to still trigger these, because I would spawn a Scarab or 2 if I wanted to. So Azar also has synergy with the Fallen Knights. We'll probably try and save Azar though for my senior next round. Feeling pretty confident though, still. Obviously Monsters going second is a pretty tough deck for anyone to deal with. We've obviously got Onyomancy coming back as well, so I've got access to whatever card I want going into the next round, which is going to be really nice. Maybe I could have kept the Fallen Knight, eh? Just gone triple Falling Knight and just gone for it. Pretty sure we're coming up to our pass. He might go for like a Glusty or something here by the looks of things. Could be enough points, honestly. It's not. We'll just pass here. He's played Glusty, Beast, Cave Troll. Seems pretty good. I committed Portal, which thins. I committed my Onyomancy, which comes back. But I did commit my Ulrich. I think it's a pretty good round. You can't really argue too much. You see the power of the deck there, hopefully. We've still got our senior. Board, of course, for our short round. And we've still got another Fallen Knight as well, which hopefully we draw into here. Obviously, it could be a nice target with Onyomancy as well. Oh, look at that. It comes back into our hand. This is a really nice hand. I can just risk a mulligan or 2, though. I may as well kick the bloody good fun, I think. This is a nice card to just keep. If he is to pass, I'd probably just play Furco into something or other. I'm not sure. We'll work it out. I could also Onyomancy into this card, which is like my worst card, really, in the deck. What's he going to do? Wouldn't surprise me if he pushes somewhat here, but he does pass. So I've got a bit of a decision. It's never the Fallen Knight, never this. It's basically either Furco playing a crime card, or it's Onyomancy. Which, in fairness, it's probably just Furco, right? Onto this. I'd carry over a coin.
Never a problem. 4 inches of steel could be solved.
This is a nice card to have for my Fallen Knight, but I've only got one of them. We really could have done with those round 1 for that Fallen Knight synergy, because it buffs by 2 each time you play it. Someone's going very fast on my road out there. Next round. So we didn't win round 1, but we do have first day round 3 where we can just push and get super aggressive. So I definitely don't want Cleric. He's like the worst card in this deck. We've got the Excommunication, which is absolutely superb. And we probably just Onyomancy for bank, right? This is a really nice hand. Cannot complain. So I'm just going to lead in with a Fallen Knight here.
Give what we demand, not harm a hair.
Probably just dies, to be fair. But if it doesn't, then it gets 2 points of buffs off Azar and buffs off my leader too. So there's an argument I could have like played one leader charge there. Probably should have, honestly. But hi-ho. These things happen. We're still learning with this deck, right? Because if I just gave it one leader charge, it was up at 5. It could have been dived, though. Actually, it couldn't have even been dived. I definitely was supposed to. We'll do it next time, eh? So we're going to use 2 leader charges. Unfortunately, this is not buffing any Fallen Knights by 2 like it probably should be, right? If you imagine you've got 3 Fallen Knights down, your leader just plays for so many points. Now, while you've got your cut up lackeys down, what you want to do is use this excommunication for full value. But equally, I can only get congregate value now if I've got one of these down. The thing I'm actually supposed to... I only get 3 zealots if I've got a zealot in the row, right? So the bad news is this would play into lacerate if I make that play though, so I might just have to just take 2 on this next one. I think I just want to clean up a bit here. This is a Fire Swan unit, so that sort of helps me out a bit. In the front I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I play this one in the back, it just means then that this is still going to spawn all 4. And you can see you actually get a decent amount of coins with this kind of a deck, right? Which is where the Flaming Rose card could potentially come in for some nice synergy. The cut-up lackeys just going in, doing their work. Obviously, Gord looking at 10 points now, but Onyomancy's going to play 3 specials in one turn. Onyomancy into bank, probably into a Bloody Good Fun. But we probably want to empty our bank with Triss on a Bloody Good Fun first. Otherwise, I am going to overspend. A super late Tainted Ale here. That's Triss. Honestly, I don't really know what to do. I didn't really want any of these cards. They all sort of don't do that much. This feels like it would be good, right? It plays for 3 points on my side. With a Fallen Knight, it would have been better. I mean, there's an argument. I could Onyomancy into the Flaming Rose and just 2 points there rather than the Bloody Good Fun. Maybe I'll just go for this. Let's do that. And then I can Onyomancy and maybe I can make use of this Flaming Rose card, which I didn't think I would be able to make use of. Just spend the fee on it, transform these into Flaming Rose Footman, which plays around Lacerate quite nicely, and this Tainted Ale here. Obviously, I'm going to be playing 2 specials, so bust Gord by 2. If I was to go for one of these cards, which I could, right? Like this is going to be a 9-point removal. If it gives me a target, it's a 9-point removal plus, well, it's 11, 13, 14 points, right? But he's got nothing to hit, so that's a bit of a problem. It's a nice problem to have, though, if your opponent's got an empty board, right? It's a nice problem. He may have Renew Glusty. Curse of Corruption. God knows what we're actually playing against here. But yeah, let's bank Onyomancy into bank. And we'll take the Flaming Rose, which is on top, which is pretty nice. We'll pay the tribute, sure. And I'm not sure if this counts as spawning units or not on the synergy with Fallen Knights, but you can see this is no joke, right? It gives you armor, protects you from Lacerate. It's a pretty nice card to just throw in the mixer as a different way of spending coins. I'm pretty impressed. It's the first time I've got value off this card. It's definitely done a good job for us there. And it's a nice backup option to have on your Ulrich as well in certain matchups, if you're just low on options with him. Board's obviously going to come in now. Unfortunately, I can't spend these last 3 coins. 13-point Gord. It could have been better. You can get him 14 points with Onyomancy because you play it twice. Obviously, I just elected to play a unit instead of a special at the end there. I think we got him. Pretty safe to say. I'm a little bit nervous though. Renew Glusty for just some mad swing. It's a lot of damage. Starting to get a bit nervous. It's not enough, surely, man. Never in doubt, eh? Never in doubt. Let's go, man. GG. So there's the deck. I hope you enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. Very powerful. I'm going to be posting, obviously, loads more decks on my channel in the coming days. So make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed it. And please leave a like on the video. What decks would you like to see me play next? What would you like me to build? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Daily Gwent streams, twitch.tv/Specimen Gwent. Safe.